Chito here today. Hi, Chito.
Hi.
And we've got a song for you. You ready?
Let's go.
Alina Celeste.
There's a hole in my bucket, dear Alina, dear Alina. There's a hole in my bucket, dear Alina, a hole.
Then mend it, dear Chito, dear Chito, dear Chito. Then mend it, dear Chito, dear Chito. Then mend it.
With what shall I mend it, dear Alina, dear Alina? With what shall I mend it, dear Alina? With what?
With some straw, dear Chito, dear Chito, dear Chito. With some straw, dear Chito, dear Chito. With some straw.
But the straw is too long, dear Alina, dear Alina. But the straw is too long, dear Alina, too long.
Then cut it, dear Chito, dear Chito, dear Chito. Then cut it, dear Chito, dear Chito. Then cut it.
With what shall I cut it, dear Alina, dear Alina? With what shall I cut it, dear Alina? With what?
With an axe, dear Chito, dear Chito, dear Chito. With an axe, dear Chito, dear Chito. With an axe.
The axe is too dull, dear Alina, dear Alina. The axe is too dull, dear Alina, dear Alina.
Then sharpen it, dear Chito, dear Chito, dear Chito. Then sharpen it, dear Chito, dear Chito. Then sharpen it.
On what shall I sharpen it, dear Alina, dear Alina? On what shall I sharpen it, dear Alina? On what?
On a stone, dear Chito, dear Chito, dear Chito. On a stone, dear Chito, dear Chito. On a stone.
But the stone is too dry, dear Alina, dear Alina. But the stone is too dry, dear Alina, too dry.
Then wet it, dear Chito, dear Chito, dear Chito. Then wet it, dear Chito, dear Chito. Then wet it.
With what shall I wet it, dear Alina, dear Alina? With what shall I wet it, dear Alina? With what?
With some water, dear Chito, dear Chito, dear Chito. With some water, dear Chito, dear Chito. With some water.
In what shall I fetch it, dear Alina, dear Alina? In what shall I fetch it, dear Alina? In what?
In a bucket, dear Chito, dear Chito, dear Chito. In a bucket, dear Chito, dear Chito. In a bucket.
There's a hole in my bucket, dear Alina, dear Alina. There's a hole in my bucket, dear Alina, a hole.
Well, then I can't help you. Thanks for watching. That was really, kind of scary.
Sorry.
Hi, Chito.
I'm sorry, let's take a minute to talk.